Now, when I first saw Destiny Connect Tick-Tock Travelers, you could tell right away this game might be something I'm not going to be into. Usually first impressions can really make or break a game and its success, and seeing some screenshots didn't really give me that vote of confidence, but as I started to play it, I definitely came to a realization, and that realization might surprise you. I'm Sunny, this is Sunnyside TV. Let's review Destiny Connect Tick-Tock Travelers. Before we get started, if you guys could do me a huge favor and hit that like button if you end up enjoying this review, and sub to the channel for more gameplay and game reviews. But Destiny Connect is best described as a JRPG, as the story elements in this are pretty heavy. The story here is the town of Clockney is in peril and in disarray, and it's being attacked by robots. Its citizens in Clockney are completely frozen in time, and the spunky Sherry and her skittish buddy Pagrio and the time-traveling robot Isaac are now trying to solve and find the mystery of what's happened. Now, full disclosure, the story in this game I think is pretty decent, but it's also about half the focus of the game, and maybe even more than the combat and the gameplay. The story does start off slow, but I did love seeing Sherry and her dialogue as the main character, as she doesn't take crap even from adults. Now, without giving huge spoilers, the story does start off slow and almost makes the text dialogue skip worthy at times, but it really starts to pick up a few hours in, and you get to see the twists and turns that I did end up enjoying. But that brings me to the main thing that I opened up this review with. The game's entirely focused on what I think is a younger audience, and not necessarily for adults looking for a complex RPG or story. The aesthetics of this game pretty much give that away, but I think even though this game wasn't targeted for someone like myself, there's enough here even for an adult or a preteen/teen to really enjoy this game. Now, the combat is a turn-based strategy combat that for the most part is pretty simple and easy to pick up. If you've ever played an RPG strategy in your life, there's nothing here that's any different in any way, and it's almost a little too basic. Keep in mind though that I think this was on purpose. The only thing really unique here is that Isaac the robot is the guardian for Sherry, and in combat situations, if he ends up dying, you actually get a game over. The kids can fall over and get knocked out, but you must keep Isaac up at all times. The game features skill points to use in combat for extra special attacks that can range from healing that Sherry can do, debuffs to the enemies, or special attacks or area of effect special attacks on the enemy. Now, to refill your skill points, you actually just need the default attack. This was kind of another gripe for me personally. Sherry had the ability to heal, but there was never an explanation on how she had that ability to heal anyone as a special attack, or how she can heal a full robot to full. Unfortunately, the game lacked a little bit of logic in some of these aspects, but I did like that the animations that certain characters had were pretty nice looking, like the Truth using his guitar for attacks, or Pagrio using his backpack for like real cool unique attacks with that too. There is a leveling system here that you can get experience for after you kill an enemy, and a full upgradable system for each character. Gaining that experience leads to unlocking new abilities that are random as to when they are unlocked, as the game gives you absolutely no indicators, and when you get these abilities, they can be upgradable as well using these things called wisdom shards and droplets. These are dropped from enemies. There's also gold that's also dropped from enemies, and these can be used to purchase gear, which gives you small upgrades and stats, and those are actually purchased from the local cafe, which is another non-logic element to the game. But the more complex upgrades are done on Isaac the robot, who has a skill tree, and he has different transforms that have him changing his fighting style and abilities. And these skill trees are pretty big, and they can take some time to upgrade, but unfortunately these trees are mostly boring and just feature small upgrades to his attack or accuracy or defense, while occasionally having new abilities he can utilize and unlock through the trees, but really not that many. As for some negatives with Destiny Connect, outside of things that at times lacked logic and explanation, the written dialogue can get boring since there is no voiceovers, and if you're not into reading, I don't think this game's going to be for you. I found myself for sure skipping dialogue points that I knew probably weren't important and were just there for filler or funny moments. The pacing can also be off, and you could be stuck with dialogue and mini cutscenes for 30 minutes before you see any action. There's also at times the game did some things that were inexplicable, like finishing a cutscene and then making me run 3 feet forward to only run into another dialogue and cutscene. Also, the town isn't very big and there isn't really a lot to explore. The game is just fairly linear, but that really is kind of a small complaint. In the end, Destiny Connect Tick-Tock Travelers made me realize that this game might be some other kid's Link's Awakening from the old school Game Boy. My first ever complex game that I beat as a child at around 6 years old. I think Destiny Connect could be that for a younger audience. A game that will challenge them but have a funny, charming, and quirky story about time traveling and kids rescuing the world. If you're a veteran of RPGs, you won't really take to this, but I feel the story is pretty interesting enough that you might even be delighted following it and maybe even playing alongside your kid. I feel like I wasn't the intended target audience for this game, and I won't give it a score in that light. As a good, easy to follow, and complex enough RPG for the family and younger kids, I think in the end this is a solid title. My final score is a 7 out of 10, though I will acknowledge I would have liked to have seen this at a much lower price, but if you ever see this half off, feel confident in your purchase, as there is at least a good 20 hours worth of story and gameplay here to digest. But alright guys, if you guys end up liking this review, please hit that like button and sub to the channel for more gameplay and game reviews here on Sunnyside TV. Also hit that notification bell for when a new video of mine goes live. But I'm Sunny, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a sunny day.